Scott, you are just one of those people that any day is a better day in your presence.
It's just amazing, Melanie, that everybody has the same amount of time, and yet outcomes are so much different based on what people think during that time and the actions they choose to take during that time. So
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Where I am today is not where I thought I would be. I mean, you have to understand, Melanie, growing up, I had some learning disabilities in elementary school and got taken out to a trailer in the back of our elementary school. I failed the 7th grade, not a holdback or, a strategic plan. I just failed the 7th grade because I had undiagnosed dyslexia and I wasn't able to read very well. And I was so embarrassed that I failed that I didn't even tell my friends. Like, I've been in the same grade with people since the 1st grade in Alabama, right? And so I was so embarrassed that, the next year my pod moved up to the 8th grade and I stayed there, and the 6th graders moved up to where I was at. Those things start to work into your mind though, and you start to believe some of those things. To me, all the failing did was just understand that it wasn't failure. It was just failing. It taught me that nothing was final until I stopped. Mm-hmm. I just get to go do it again. Which is, once you understand that, it change. Like you'll run to failure if you can understand that it's a cheat code to get to success. The greatest lesson that I probably learned, and this was tough because I did, being a football player, you got some accolades from people and some special treatment. One of the things my mother taught me that was just so valuable, and I use till today, is, do you remember parachute pants? Not designed body-wise for parachute pants. I was embarrassed to go to school that day. I was like, do you think my friends are going to laugh at me? And of course they were. Parachute pants, of course they were going to, But my mom said something to me that was so valuable. She said, Scott, you're so funny. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she says, you think people think about you. Mm. And she said, everybody's thinking about themselves. They're worried about what they're wearing today. And at the time, it didn't hit me as much as it did going forward in from college to everything that we've ever done in our life. The reality is nobody cares. Nobody's thinking about me. And once we understand that, it allows us to literally remove the armor in front of us and just be our authentic self.
So that's where I get really excited about Bold. I would just love to spend a little time on why you think now is such a good time, because I've heard you talk about that a little bit.
Well, a couple of things. Let me start it this way. If not Bold, what? To me, Bold was written for this moment. And I wish that there was something that you could take, that you could get a shot for, that you could dress a certain way and have the outcome that you desire in real estate. I do, because I would get it in a heartbeat. Unfortunately, though, that's not it. Jason Abrams said it perfectly one time. He says, sometimes we teach fearful people fearless tactics. And That's tough, right? You're a fearless person. So all you need is, hey, what do I do? Okay, here's the model. You're like, boom, that's the model. Okay. Majority of people have some fear. They look at the model and they say, oh, I don't want to do this part of the model. And what we've discovered in Bold, when we work on this, we have accountability to people in a room. We'll do things we wouldn't normally do. And if we can do it for 7 weeks, we'll create new habits. And that's why Bold has changed the trajectory of people's lives. And over 250,000 people have been through Bold. That's the opportunity.
You have to remember that there's a lot of fear-based people. And I think that's what Bold is just especially the master at, because it's such it's a repetitive every week. It's habits. It's right. You're failing forward in the room and you're having wins. And so your brain is being acknowledged for, okay, look, it pays off. I'm interviewing people around the room. I had one gal, she had 17 buyers in her pipeline. 17. And then another person who was a recruit that I had just recruited while Bold's happening, and he was in there and he joined one of my awesome teams here. He was about to leave the business. He's 12 years in the business, super talented guy, awesome guy, great guy. Never would have considered Keller Williams, but a friend connected me, all the things. I got him right in Bold. Scott, he has 7 closings he closed this month.
And the only thing that changed was him. Do you know that when you're in a group of people, you're more likely to do things you wouldn't normally do? To me, Bold, when we get in teams like that, we will do things when we tell somebody else. If I say, Melanie, I'm going to do this for you, I'm more likely to do it than if I just say I'm going to do it for myself. Everything in that room is designed to break you through so that you have a different outcome. There's nothing in there with fluff. We work so hard to change your thinking so that you will change your action. Because if we can change those two things, you will absolutely change your outcome. I said this at Mega Camp, and I truly do believe it. You talked about lead generation, having the playbooks there, and there are so many plays in that book. And if I could tell agents and leaders is, don't go out and work hard to be average at everything. Find a lane and go master it. If you're not going to pick up the phone and call people, then stop doing that and figure the way that you are going to create relationships with people and go do that. But go get good at something.
I love that. And in fact, we would invite you to come get good at something with us in Bold. Don't wait till October, but start practicing so that you can really get great at it in Bold with us over 7 weeks. Everyone's invited. It'll be at the Southwest Market Center at 1801 South Mopac, October 12th. We'll start sharp at 8:30. And just, Scott, I'm excited to do Bold again with you, but in person. And so I will personally be attending, and I will be bringing a lot of people with me just to experience you and experience that magic that happens in the room. Because I believe as leaders, it's our job to take a stand for people's greatness. And that's what we do every day, is how we show up, how we pour into others, how we open doors for people. Yeah, they have to go through them.
Yeah.
Right. And it's all up to them. It's a choice. But when our people have people in their lives that are opening doors and things like that, walk through it, guys. Take a stand for yourself. So just, Scott, thank you for all that you do in the world. You make our world a better place. And I feel honored to call you a friend, and I cannot wait to have you in Austin with us.
No, I appreciate you so much. I trust you know that.